Let's face it, music games are just awesome. Everything from DDR to Beatmania, EBA to Guitar Hero. They're all just great. These games are usually accompanied with some form of accessory to further dive you into the game, whether it be a dance pad, guitar, keyboard, microphone, or whatever, with the exception of games like Guitar Man and Frequency, which use the system's stock controller. Since the advent of Nintendo's Wii, it comes to no surprise that developers will attempt to use their controller in music games. Some were successful, and others, well, weren't so successful, at least not in the eyes of the gaming community. My review today will be on a Wiiware game called Helix. I've chosen to review this game because it received such negative reviews from more of the bigger sites. While I do agree that this isn't that good of a game, I don't think it should have received such harsh ratings. So here's my review for Helix on Wiiware. Gameplay. The concept of Helix is pretty simple. You get this little figure standing in the middle of the screen, and what you're supposed to do is mimic his every move with your Wii remotes. You execute each move as a thick gray bar passes to the top center of the screen. The length of each bar determines how long the movement must be held for, but is typically brief to keep up with the rhythm of the song. These moves consist of punches, hooks, arm raises, back fists, and circles. If you perform the correct move, the bar will turn green. If you miss altogether, then it turns red. If you miss enough times, you fail the song, just like in most music games. So is it fun, you ask? Well, if you're okay with moving your arms around to the beat of some techno music, then yes, this game can be fun. And it actually reminds me a lot of Para Para Paradise, except for Para Para is actually fun to play. But honestly speaking here, this game will probably appeal more to a family audience, which in turn is also ironic because this game is only one player. And if you didn't catch on by now, this game does utilize 2 Wii remotes. It's not exactly required to have 2 Wii remotes to play this game, but it does make the experience much better. In fact, playing with one remote will pretty much kill any fun one may have playing this game. The game itself even encourages you to play with 2 remotes. I guess they thought that the cord on the nunchuck wouldn't provide enough space for movement. There's a total of 3 difficulties: easy, medium, and hard. I can't really tell the difference between medium and hard, except for hard having more breaks in between each note, but they bring a new level of challenge in some form. At the end of each song, all your combos and successful motions are tallied up to give you a rating on how well you did. Now let's talk about the replay value. There's only 26 songs in this game, which isn't totally bad when you consider the price, but most of them are locked, so you pretty much are forced to play the same songs over and over several times to unlock more. The replay value isn't that good, I'll admit. You just have to enjoy this game for what it is and play it as you feel. I personally might play this every now and then, but I'll most likely use it to kill time for something. Again, if you don't mind moving your arms around while playing a rhythm game, this game might actually hold your interest. Sound. This being a rhythm game, it's pretty much required to have good sounding music. The soundtrack in Helix is actually not that bad. The game's music genre is pretty much limited to just techno and electronica type music, so if you don't like those types of music, then this game is pretty much out of your alley. Lucky for me, I enjoy techno music, therefore I naturally enjoy most of the songs in this game. If you don't recognize any of the artists on the game, then you're not alone. I haven't heard of half of these artists myself. Graphics. It appears obvious that being a rhythm game pretty much gave the developer an excuse not to be creative on the graphics. The little figure standing in the center was clearly a few layers above its wireframe, and the visualizer in the background is about as basic as you can get. It's not much different than the kind you get in Windows Media Player. In other words, the graphics are kinda lame, but at least you're able to make out what's needed to be seen to play the game. So in conclusion, Helix isn't exactly a good game, but it isn't a terrible one either. It depends on the person. If you're into techno music and rhythm games, you might want to give this one a shot. If you don't like techno music but like rhythm games, I'd steer clear from this one and just stick with EBA or Guitar Hero. I personally might just forget it altogether. This game is only 1,000 Wii points, so if you regret buying this game, don't feel bad. There's much worse out there at higher prices. So I hope you guys found this review to be helpful in some way or another, and until next time, keep gaming.